So I've got this ride-on mower tyre here that's looking a bit sad. It's leaking for a while, I ignored it. It came off the rim, I ignored it. But now I think it's even got water in there. So I'm going to take it off and see what we can do to get it sorted out and get it fixed. Yeah, there's water in there. Right, so I'll take it off, get it sorted out and get it all sealed up again. Need to get it cleaned out and dried, or it's not going to seal. And the reason it's going down beforehand, and then I'll find out whether it's got leaks in the sides or it's just leaking on the rim or the valve or whatever. We'll find that out and put it back together. So we've got to take it off first, get it cleaned out and dried inside, get all the debris out, and then we can work on putting it back together. So these are normally fairly easy to take off. Occasionally need a bit of lube around here just to release it. Just a few screwdrivers, you should be able to get it off pretty quickly. So if you look on the rim, the rim where the tyre bead normally sits is out here, but it comes in quite a way at the base of the rim. So the idea to get the bead off the edge is to get the opposite side of the bead in this dip, and it allows you to move the whole thing over, and you can free up the other side. So if you lift this up somewhat, it can come over, and you've now got a gap over here which you can use to take it off. Side out, and yeah, there's a pile of water in there. Okay, so with one side out, it's normally fairly easy to get the other side out. Or not. So go and clean all this up, get all the crap out inside, and then I can start and putting it back together. Okay, so I got this all cleaned up now. The rims are pretty good actually, and the tyres, side the tyre is actually pretty good too. The all the lip is, the bead is pretty nice, so it should be fairly well to put it together. One of the ways I found to make this easier is you find a couple of wood blocks that will fit just inside the side of the rim, and this is actually going to go upside down, but it allows you to put that on the floor, and you can keep the rim elevated off the floor, which allows just working the tyre to be a bit easier. Okay, so to get it started, just use a bit of dish soap and spray. Get it on the side. First side in, pretty easy really. Just wipe the soap off. And now this is when the blocks make it a lot easier. So you put your block in, and the other block, turn it upside down. Now same again with the soap. Just on the lip and the bead. And same again, right, so you've got the centre area of the rim that's a lot narrower, so if you can get one side of the bead into this, it'll give you more space on the other side. So this is the bit where you'll struggle. This is the hardest bit, getting this the second edge started. Come on, nearly there. There we go. Right, so it's back on. I have to say, the smaller the tyre, that's more difficult because you've got less wiggle room. On the bigger ones, it's actually easier. Okay, so now we've got to get this bead seated so I can get some air back in it. Easiest way to do that is just with a ratchet strap. So you put a ratchet strap down the centre, and it just caves the middle of the tyre, middle of the tread inwards, which twists the tyre around, forcing the bead closer to the edge. The thing I've started doing in recent years is using a bit of this, which is it's a Loctite number 3, which is a aviation gasket sealant, which it's like a sticky tar. It never really dries, and it's great for just sealing the bead to the rim. It's just like treacle. So it's not like RTV that sets and just turns into a weird layer. This stays as like a sticky residue, like a tar. So before you put this on, you kind of make sure that everything's not saturated with soap. I purposely put not a lot on. Right, so that should be one one side fairly good. So it acts as a lubricant too as you assemble it, so you can kind of push the tyre in. It's almost like a glue, so it allows you to go through the bead onto the rim, and it almost glues it in there. Works quite well. Right, so we get the same on the other side. Again, this is when you blocked out. Just raise the rim up and it allows you to push the tyre down, and especially it'll seat that on the far side. Want to ensure you get enough of a layer on there. Don't get too light, because otherwise it won't do much. But you want to get a complete layer over it. Right, so that's kind of seated. Now if we pull the ratchet strap, it collapses the tyre in and pushes the beads out. So, not quite seated over here, so we can push. Now we tried doing this without the ratchet strap. All you typically do is just unseat the bead on the other side. But with the ratchet strap in this sealant, it'll tend to kind of hold both sides fairly well. So we haven't really unseated on this side. We're still kind of seated on both sides there. So now it's just a case of a bit of air, and with any luck we'll actually get it to seat. Okay, I'm going to start taking tension off on the ratchet strap. Not all of it at once, because that's often unseat at that point. Does that come off? Just check. It's just released on the far side. Yeah. Don't quite get enough pressure in there. The air pressure will help seat the beads. So we've put a bit more sealant around the beads. They give it a bit more lubrication, allow it to seat. Tighten the belt slightly, and I've actually managed to get pressure inside and toe pressure. So now I've just got to slowly release the tension on the strap. Slowly. Right, that's looking fairly okay, pressure-wise. Check it now with soapy water. Okay, bead set. We put some in the sidewall. If it's kind of late, you often get some in the sidewall. So put it on the side and leave it 5 minutes. and then I'll just come back and see what it's like, if it's leaking or not. Okay, so a few minutes later we've got evidence of a few leaks. There's one here that's bubbling out, there's no one here. The rest of the other side looks pretty good. I've not checked the tread area, but I'll just go with what I'm next going to do, which is solve these leaks. Now, the way I've found to do this is putting used engine oil inside it. Now, you're obviously not going to do this on a car, but for something like a lawnmower, it really doesn't matter. So you've got to take out the valve core, valve stem. So there's don't know if a lot of people know, but these old pressure gauges, the end of it had a thing that allowed you to take out the valve stem. So all that pressure we've got to take out. But at least now the bead's seated, so it should be less of an issue. Right, so what I've got is a funnel and a bit of hose. It's just the right size for a valve stem. Turn it on there, get a decent seal. Couple of blocks of wood just to hold it up. Now, some used engine oil. And for most of these lawnmower tyres, you put in about 3 cups. So 3 cups of oil inside the tyre. Just a cup. It'll take you a few minutes to get all this inside, so I'll bring it back in a few minutes time. So you've got the oil in there, just take the funnel off and get the valve core back in. Get a bit of pressure in there, then look, the beads are all still seated. Pretty low these, I think it says 14 psi max. They're a pretty lightweight tyre. That's what, about 12, isn't it? So the purpose of getting oil in here is it absorbs into any of the cracks inside. So if you have little leaks, it infiltrates itself into all the rubber, and it swells it up, and it reduces or stops leaks. So you can just turn this backwards and forwards a few times, leave it on one side for 10 minutes, leave it on the other, and just roll it around, and just coating all the inside with the oil, and then it can get into all the rubber, and it works really well. This is a larger one that I did exactly the same thing for a week or two back. Now on this one it's got dry rot all around the outside. Well, I know it's old, but I mean there's still a decent amount of tread on it, right? So it's difficult to throw it away when it's all it needed was 3 cups of oil and pump back up again. So check the pressure in this. Yeah. So that's still at 10 psi, which is where I put it at. And that's whatever it is, 10 days, 2 weeks later. So it does work. Because when I tried this before, I put the soap on, all of these are bubbling up everywhere, and it was going flat in 12 hours. So it does work. Some people will tell you it doesn't, but it does. Just take your time, get whatever. Something like this, you're going to need at least 3 cups. The smaller ones, maybe slightly less. Anyway, keep going.